Good morning and welcome to Enfys Tarot. Today is October 8th, 2024, and we are going to dive into the Modern Nirvana Oracle deck for our prompt today. I've been really enjoying these cards. They're beautiful, and they seem to be doing a great job of pulling us away from the conversations having to do with, simple aspects of manifestation. Which tend to happen with these community readings, when there is no prompt, because they're community readings. So the tarot likes to send messages that everyone can get. But these prompt cards really help to prevent redundancy. So let's see where we're going today. Message for the collective today, please. All right, Kintsugi. All right, so our card today is Kintsugi, and I am going to refer to the book for this one because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not that familiar with this deck yet. So let me just take a moment here. Okay, so what we have here is the concept that when something has been broken, we repair it using gold. It's a form of alchemy. So in other words, when we are feeling broken or empty, when something has been damaged and appears to be irreparable, we feel the grief and we mourn for what no longer is. But it is a new beginning. There's an opportunity to put these pieces together and make them create a brand new beauty. It's not trying to repair something that was and then leave it being less than. It is creating something brand new from what was once before and is now broken. So let me read this one part to you because I felt like this was really impactful. When we perceive something as damaged or broken, the initial shock of something beloved no longer being what it was can cause a visceral reverberation through the heart space. Feelings of attachment tethered to affection and nostalgic waves of longing can cause deep suffering, and our shattered emotions may cause us to burst into tears in sympathy with what is believed to be broken. This can leave us feeling as though we've been shattered into a million pieces, left wondering how we can get ourselves together to face tomorrow, let alone face today. So we need to seek compassion and be compassionate to what is now. And it's not asking us to erase our memory of what was. It's asking us to create something new out of what is and appreciate it fully, which certainly does say a lot for, manifestation practices and gratitude. So that's our prompt today. We're going to go with Kintsugi, finding the perfection in what could be perceived as something broken or lost. And let's find out what the Rider-Waite-Smith cards want to tell us about that concept and dive a little bit deeper into that. That's ready. So we're starting off with wow, here we go. All right, 10 of Wands, 8 of Swords reversed, the Moon, okay, 3 of Pentacles, King of Wands, the Sun, 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups, Judgment in reverse, 5 of Pentacles, wow, lots of fives in reverse, Tower in reverse, Strength in reverse, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Don't mind the cat's playing. We're going to need to make some room here. Let me move some things over. Let's get some things moved around here so that we can see all the cards. Got these. Even further over here. Temperance. Yeah, so it's really, wow, this, here we go. That's it. All right. So starting off, we've got the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Swords in reverse, and the Moon. So it does take some work, right? It takes a lot of effort. It can feel like it's really, really difficult to move on, move forward when something has been broken or lost. And that is a false imprisonment. If we stay trapped in that thought of how hard the burden is of loss, then we are missing the point. We need to be following up with the Moon energy here. That's what we're seeing here, where we are leaning into our instinct and intuition in order to understand what to do with what is, right? Moving forward. This is the evolution card, the Moon. This is how we grow and transform and evolve. And it does create a situation where we can get other people on board. We can work with a team of people. Sometimes reality makes sense to us when we share that reality with others. And I think that's what's being asked in this card, to be passionate about what is becoming, what is being perceived in its new form, and then getting people on board, communicating that. That is what creates new life. This is the Sun card. This is the life card, vitality, purity, innocence, newness, rebirth, you know, which is really incredible to get this kind of a spread for a Kintsugi message. Now, here's the alternative, right? This is the, way that people tend to handle grief and loss and mourning. And there's so many different emotions and actions that we can take. And the truth is, they're no less beautiful than practicing Kintsugi. You know, if we're experiencing the feeling of loss, of defeat, that is unique to being human, right? And then there's this, I do want to go into the 5 of Cups a little bit in reverse, because this is about disappointment. But once we've experienced the defeat here, we are asked to embrace that feeling of disappointment and then move upward toward this flowing stream of water that allows things to clear out, to clear the space. And then you see the hope on the horizon. And you can see this person that's standing here, their gaze, if they just pivot, right? If they just continue turning and moving their gaze around, you move from disappointment to clarity, to hope, to the bridge that gets you to the other side, to see what is still standing. So Kintsugi is to look at what is still standing. So it's not a problem to be here in the place of disappointment. But what you want to do with that disappointment is to continue moving with it. Disappointment is like anger in the way that it gets us motivated to act on something, right? Judgment in reverse, certainly we can have a hard time finding the newness, finding some ways to be creative and finding the beauty in what is left and what is now, when we are stuck in the past and we're thinking about how badly we wish things still are the way they were, right? So it's really important to exercise good judgment. Be clear. Remove your filters. Don't try to bring what's left necessarily into what is now. Really perceive what is now with a way of newness, with clarity, right? Let go of the feelings of scarcity. Let go of the feelings of loss, devastation, isolation. We do tend to feel very isolated all of a sudden. We feel lonely. When something no longer is what it was, we end up feeling sad because we can't be with it anymore. This is an attachment thing. This is not a connection thing. That prevents us from allowing the upheaval. The Tower in reverse here if we're fighting against it, it really makes things drag out so much longer than they really have to. And we're not creating a space where we can recognize our strength. Our existence is what continues. You know, life goes on, and it is our strength, our finesse, our feminine aspects of strength, not brute force, that is going to allow us that flexibility to work with new creation. So let go of the attachments. Don't be afraid to move forward. The Eight of Cups suggests that, in reverse, suggests that there are so many people that really struggle with this whole exercise of Kintsugi, because we are so attached to what was, and we have such a hard time letting go. And when we're focused on that scarcity and lack of what was, we're having a really hard time understanding what is. And it pulls us away from self. It pulls us away from our core being, which is this temperance in reverse. We have a hard time finding balance and grounding and moving and flowing along with life and, you know, the current of that. We've got to let go of the control here. We can't try to control things by finding ways to piece things back together so that they were or are what they were. We've got to let go of the control and attachment. And that is when we get the Ace of Wands, which is the bippity boppity boo fairy godmother card of new creation and inspiration and opportunity. It's when we're working with the universe and going with the flow of life. So this was a really powerful reading today, really impactful. So many people are handling different magnitudes of loss at all times. So, you know, it certainly hits the mark for a lot of people, I'm sure. So see if you can exercise Kintsugi today. Let me go ahead and hold this booklet up. You can pause the screen if you want to. Actually, I have to do it upside down because I will be flipping the video. So let me just hold this up here so that if you want to read through the whole thing, you can pause it. And then there's another page if you want to dive a little deeper and read the whole thing there. There's a mantra at the end. And let's go ahead and just read that mantra. I weld the pieces of my past back together with gold and stand in my presence as a work of art to behold. What was no longer is, and what will be is beautiful. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Practice Kintsugi, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.